It's scary to get out of your comfort zone, which actually would serve you better. You're listening to Squeeze Lines, where truth stings, laughs heal, and nothing's off limits. I'm Tyler, the daughter.
I'm Robin, the mom. And if life gives you lemons,
we're squeezing limes instead.
So grab a seat, open your mind, and get ready to laugh or cry, because we're not here to play nice.
We're here to get real. Right. We're going to talk about letting go today and getting stuck in the same narrative from the past.
Okay. Yes.
So what have you found that has people having a hard time letting go?
I feel like when people are in conflict with others in their lives, when they have a fight, when they have a split up, when something goes wrong, when they have a illness, they can become victims in their own storyline, which would be negative words like, why me? Why did this happen to me? Why, you point fingers, they ruined my life. They're terrible people. How did I even get into this? I hate them. They ruined my life is a lot of, or it ruined my life.
So it's like a lot of blaming into a person or a situation to then have impacted where they're at in their current situation.
Correct. And so what happens is they carry these words and their story that are completely negative, as you said, and they live it every day. Like they wake up to it. There's no positivity. There's just... They ruined my life. This is my life. How did I get here? How did I get this disease? Why was I with this person in the first place? I hate them. It's just all of these, or I'm not good enough, which leads to, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. And then you're walking around with it. So people sometimes walk around with it for 10, 20, 30 years.
Right.
That's what I want to talk about, is how to let go of that and why it's comfortable. Well, I guess first, why it's comfortable to stay in that state, because I think there becomes a comfortable spot for you because it's like home. But
because you're so used to it, you're so comfortable in the uncomfortable.
Correct. That is correct.
And it's scary to get out of your comfort zone, which actually would serve you better.
Right. So it's fear-based.
Okay.
So, and then change, right? Because if you're going to change for the better, if you're going to let go of your storyline, which again, most likely isn't real, then what do you have?
So what would count for a storyline not being real?
Well, when two people get in a fight, he said, she said, whatever it is, they said,
yeah,
that's what it is. I have my version, you have yours. That's my truth. That's your truth.
So you're talking about different perspectives and how someone's perspective might have twisted in a way that might not be actually what happened or factual.
Correct. Right. To serve their psyche in a way that I think they would think it's positive, because they do get attention from their sad story. But when you hold it for years and years and years, and that's it's the loop, it continues, you are actually hurting your life and not being present and not continuing to grow.
Or not even taking accountability for your own life.
Right.
Because it ends up being a blame game on external factors. And in reality, it's...
What are external factors?
It's another person. It's a situation.
Oh, the blame.
It's the blame, the experience, whatever it was, turns into a blame of this thing hurt me and now I'm hurt and poor me. And look at me that I am just continuing in this negative route and almost kind of looking for a savior.
Right. That's right. Exactly right.
Instead, people need to learn to be their own savior. and to get themselves out of, you know, the hole they dug themselves in, because it continues. Like what I see is, if you have this story of, you know, they ruined my life and I'm, you know, continuing to be miserable because I want the attention of, oh, poor you. Like, what can I do to help you? Let me like do something for you. And then it continues. There's no part of that themselves is like, well, I get a choice in how my life goes. I get a choice in what I do with my life and what's going to happen next. And I, you know, I understand it to a certain degree. You know, I've held on to stories for many years and months or whatever about different things
Doesn't it
in my
zap your
life.
energy? It like zaps
It's
you.
exhausting.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting, and I can't be present. It's hard to focus on anything else that I'm doing. And so, like, you know, you even go to bed thinking about all this negative situation or this negative person or all the things that you wish you could have done differently, you know, and it's so hard to let go sometimes. But then if you're continuing it and not letting it go and letting it fester, then you're bringing in this woe is me.
Right. It's an actual
Save me.
subscription. You subscribe to the story, you bought it, you own it, and you're going to put it out there every day.
Mhm.
You're going to
Right.
think it, you're going to talk about it to anyone that listens,
Right.
even if it's decades old.
And I will say, I think there's a difference between your story and, of course, your story is your truth. The difference being, you can have this happen to me in my life. However, I'm choosing this other life, maybe despite that, maybe, you know, it motivated me to do something else or bigger or better.
You mean if you let go of it?
Meaning you're using that situation or person
in
or whatever
spite of, right.
as a learning opportunity.
I did that when I was very young. So I understand that, in spite of. When you're told you can't do it,
Yes.
I was like, yeah, watch me.
Right.
And I
Exactly.
did. And so that is a motivator. But I didn't hold on to the story of what I
Exactly.
couldn't do.
Right. And it didn't become your personality.
It didn't
your
bring me down, or
persona.
I wouldn't have done anything.
Right. Exactly.
Right. But most people don't have that vigor to say, like, really, watch me, you know, like, fuck you, watch me.
Right.
And that's okay. It's just they just have to learn a different way.
Right. Because it could be, depending, of
Well,
course.
because that could be a failure also. I think it's fear of failure.
Fear of failure.
Correct. I think I think that's what the old stories do. They keep us away from success, being present, being alive in your life on this day, because this day is all we have. Literally, that's all we have.
Right,
We do
right.
not know anything more than this day.
Yes.
Not even an hour from now, we do not know. So if you're waking up and you're repeating it over and over again to anyone that will listen, you are staying stuck in your story. You're staying stuck in your verbiage. You're staying stuck in your life.
So how do you propose getting out of feeling stuck or the blame game or the victim mentality? How do you get out and start living the life that you've always dreamed of?
Well, I feel like it's definitely a process, and starting little by little to understand that these attachments that you've given yourself aren't worthy of your energy any longer.
Mm.
And so you tackle each word, sometimes each sentence, with a filler of the positive, you know?
I've also heard of, like, if you don't fully believe it yet, at least do neutral.
Okay.
So, like,
What does that
for
look like?
example, someone told you that you're fat and you've carried that around, and then you like started to binge eat and you like fed into that story that you're fat and you're just going to continue to like be that way. Right.
Right.
And then you tell yourself, I'm fat, I hate the way I look, blah, 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 blah. Like
Negative.
all negative. And what I've heard before is instead of saying, like, if you really, truly, genuinely don't like your body, and like this is not fat shaming, but just if you don't like your body and you want it to change, instead of going and jumping into the positive, which is to you a lie, like I'm so beautiful, when you really don't believe it,
Go to neutral.
go to neutral. I have a body. I have a body that works. I'm able to walk, or I'm able to, you know, get into the car. I'm able to get in out of bed in the morning. They're all neutral spots, so it's not such a drastic jump from
It's
negative
not from
to
black
positive.
to white, right? That's right.
Yes.
Right. It's not black and white.
Right. So starting there, like, okay, you know, obviously for me, like postpartum was really hard in terms of my body, and everything have changed, and it still is changing over the course of pregnancy and postpartum. There's just like so much that happens, and, you know, everyone wants to bounce back. And, you know, I've seen friends bounce back before and I didn't. And it was just like, wow, how are you doing this? Whatever. And I realized that there were those thoughts in my head of,
You have to. Why aren't you?
no, like, oh, like, look how I look. I'm frumpy, or I'm, you know,
dark.
I can't wear anything that it doesn't fit me, or, you know, whatever. And so instead of saying, you know, all those negative things, I started to say, I love that my body gave me another
Baby.
life.
Right.
You know, I love that my body served me well and served my daughter. And I'm grateful that I was able to get pregnant and give birth and you know, be here, and I'm healthy. Thank God.
Right. So you
know,
turned it. That's what I was
turning it.
talking about. You
That's what I'm
turn it.
saying.
So sometimes it's a sentence. And that's a good start. You turned your, oh, I'm frumpy, to, I'm blessed to have this body to give birth.
Right. So it turns into like this neutral. I mean, I think that's a little bit more positive on the other end,
But it's a fact.
it's a fact.
And that's what it
Yes.
is. So this person ruined my life. Did they ruin your life? Is your life ruined? No. That is a fact. Are you here? Are you getting help? Are you listening? Are you wanting to move on? Maybe they don't even know that they have this disease of this negative storyline. Then it's a
Totally.
little harder.
Totally.
But then when you're with these people, you know, say they're family members, friends, you want to just incorporate a little push of the positive. Why don't you change that sentence to, I am enough.
Right.
Or my life is worthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then look at that end of it.
Right.
If you are in therapy, or if you are, you know, wanting a change and really realizing that this doesn't work anymore. And I'm like, it's so negative and toxic for others as well. After many, many years, you want to just start slow again with words.
Right.
And so I am good enough. I am worthy. This is a beautiful day. The sun is out. I see a flower. You know,
like
anything.
I got out of bed. I was able to eat. Like,
right.
Yes.
Exactly.
So letting go is really important. And if you need help, we suggest counseling always, and talking to an unbiased person in your life and seeking the help that you need.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Be sure to follow, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a good squeeze.
Of course, everybody needs one.
See you next time on Squeeze Lines.